Welcome, boys and ghouls,
Happy
to
Friday the 13th.
yeah. Well, we don't own the rights to this movie, so we can't show it to you. But if you
Unfortunately.
want to synchronize and ruin the movie with our commentary, which everybody always accuses us of doing, we only talk during the breaks. We have never talked over the movies, so
Yeah.
shut up. But thank you. If you want to listen to the audio commentary, we're going to talk about Friday the 13th, Chapter 1, the OG, 1980,
OG. That's
Betsy
right.
Palmer's
And
fine ass.
and we did take a YouTube poll, and 50 over 50% of the viewers wanted us to do the commentary on the original 1980 horror classic Friday the 13th. And we had four other options, but this one I honestly did better than I thought it was going to. I thought the other ones
I
might
thought
have
New Blood would
like
have won.
Jason Lives. That's always a
I
big
was
one. Jason Lives.
disappointed that Jason X and Takes Manhattan were not offered on the poll. That seemed like a
Yeah.
intentional
Well,
choice.
we previously had did some content with what was it 3, 6, and 8, I think. We did when we did our marathon a couple years back, but
It's not the
so I
same.
wanted to get different things going. But yeah, so I guess so. Yeah, this is the one that directed by Sean Cunningham, starring Adrian King, Betsy Palmer, and Harry Crosby. And yeah, so it's an hour and 35 minutes.
9 seconds on Voodoo.
There you go. So yeah, everyone, if you have it queued up, me and Shelby are gonna do a quick 10 countdown, and we will all hit play together. So, are you
And
ready?
we ain't taking any breaks, baby. This is the full play.
Yep,
So,
full play, no breaks.
no
So,
breaks.
all right, you ready?
Let's go. We'll
Okay.
alternate. 10,
9,
8,
7,
6.
5,
Sounds like you're thinking about it. 4,
3,
2,
1.
go. Okay, so we have a mountain. We got the classic Paramount opening,
It's awesome, and it fades that blue
and
tone.
then it goes to the other Paramount logo. Is there a company that's had more logos than Paramount? I don't know.
Sean S. Cunningham, but mainly most known for being a producer, mainly. So,
And living a very clean life. No diddling stories, no sex scandals. Very rare these days in Hollywood.
that shot of the moon. Most of the times when people want to get the effect of the moon, they get like stock footage or whatever, and they try their best to get a shot of the moon. But if you have ever had a camera on a video to do video work and you try to get an image of the moon, it's as big as a dime. So,
There's no shame in using stock footage. Just be smart about how you splice it in.
right. So, have you ever been to a camp where they sing songs like this?
Yes, unfortunately, I have.
Yeah, because we didn't do that at what was the one that we went to?
Manchester?
No,
Which camp?
uh, the one at the church.
Oh, yes, they did have music, but
Did they?
you went when we were older.
Yeah.
We went a couple of times before that. We were like 7 or 8. At the younger kids one, they definitely had music. You had to sing. It wasn't horrible, but there was still more singing than I wanted to participate in. But it wasn't as
Right.
bad as like elementary school band class, like
Right.
which was basically just prepare for the stupid fucking musicals.
And sing "Light the Candles" all
Oh
around the
my
world.
god.
Jay
I
Banks with that solo.
just about fucking went into orbit when you sent that. That ruined my holiday. I thought I'd gotten that like wiped out of my brain, and all of a sudden it just flashback. Carr Elementary, gym, 1958, Camp Crystal Lake.
And the thing with this movie is, this heavily uses the POV shots. Um, and you know, it kind of started the whole genre of POV in horror.
Oh, another. fun thing about this movie is that it's pretty skimpy on the nudity, other than Camp Zaddy Steve Christie, who is the undisputed king of Camp Crystal Lake. I
See,
will,
now that shot of the moon's a little bit better.
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty nice given the clouds and stuff. How nice that
It was like a
was.
time lapse shot.
Yeah,
You got to pay extra for that.
and their shirts are two different shades of yellow, and that bugs me.
I guess they are. I was like, maybe it's just the crappy lighting.
No, that's two different shades.
Yeah. Huh. How'd they manage that? The
They
prop
found two
department
yellow
couldn't.
shirts.
I mean, they couldn't just. Where the hell did you get yellow shirts? Like,
I
department
mean,
store? I mean, they wouldn't have the same type when you bought yellow shirts, or were they like, hey, everybody bring in generic yellow shirts from home, we'll iron on the patch?
this movie, you know,
I know it was filmed on a budget of like $14, but
it was what was it? It was actually
I don't want your numbers and your math and your science in my commentary. You can leave that nerd shit for the kids on YouTube.
on a budget of $550,000.
Well, you give me $550,000, and I guarantee you won't get a movie. I'm gonna need another 700 to get it done. The 500,000 is for my pain and suffering the last 20 years.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we have this awesome score from Harry Manfredini.
Probably the
Uh,
best part of the
oh
movie.
yeah,
It's the best
yeah.
part of the entire franchise. I mean, where
Yeah,
would Halloween and Friday the 13th be without their scores?
the the infamous was actually his own voice. He actually recorded that himself, so his ma 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 is last, 40 years later or so. Shanked. Now, can you bleed that quickly out of your
I
mouth
don't
if being stabbed in the lower
I
abdomen?
don't think so, but I'm not willing to test that theory. So if anybody else has any inside knowledge, feel
Right.
free to send us a
And this,
DM,
and here
but
we
get
have
a
this
lawyer
freeze
first.
frame, and this slide in with the logo here is amazing.
Yeah, this is cool. This is iconic.
Freeze frame, and the zoom,
Don't stage freeze. Don't say stage freeze. Just do it.
and the faded white, and then
Yeah, the logo transfer in is pretty cool
slowly,
with the
and the
glass
glass
shattering.
shatter. Yes, so good.
I mean, it is pretty cheesy. That's a very 70s video effect. You could tell this was like
Yeah.
1980. They were still using this is all 70s technique. They hadn't invented the
So, so
ridiculous computer generated.
what is your favorite Friday movie or movie starring Jason? Since there's other titled movies, but which is your favorite one if you had to pick one that you could watch on any given day?
Um, I don't know. I
And,
like Chapter
it,
3 a
yeah,
lot, just because it's still a mix between campy and scary
yeah.
that they kind of lose
And
the.
it is the film that he actually gets the hockey mask.
I
So
really
it's
like
had
Freddy
huge
versus
cultural
Jason still to this
importance.
day.
I,
I
you
still
know,
think it holds up.
I watched Freddy vs. Jason. Me and Amanda watched Freddy vs. Jason last year. We watched all the Nightmare movies, and I haven't seen Freddy vs. Jason in a long time. And that movie it's a lot better than I remember it being.
I
So
mean, it's campy and it's got some pretty good jump scares in it and a lot of gore. It's kind of like a mix of what this was. Whereas like Halloween was always scary. There's
yeah,
nothing funny about Halloween. Like this series was a little bit more light, but it wasn't overt like, because Jason doesn't talk and you got, Nightmare on
yeah,
Elm Street, Freddy is always cracking jokes and then cutting your head off.
yeah,
But it's like scary. And this one's kind of like, oh, these guys are so stupid. These teenagers get. You kind of root against the campers in a lot of these, which I think is pretty
yeah. You
funny. You
do,
actually are
you
cheering for
do.
Jason most of the time, and I feel like in
Yeah,
the other ones, you're like, somebody needs to kill Michael Myers. Somebody needs to kill Freddy. He's an
yeah.
absolute menace. Like Jason's just misunderstood.
So we have our hitchhiker here, hitchhiking to Crystal Lake. I think she's the chef, or she's maybe just another counselor. I can't recall.
I think it's the chef, because I think
Uh,
I'm pretty sure they
last
bitch
time,
about not having
last
a
time I
chef.
watched this was when we did our other live watch of it. I guess it was
Release
2020, or
release the lost tapes.
we will,
This
we
is
will.
the ill-fated drinking game
Mm.
watch
I mean,
of
since
one and two.
we started with 20. But I mean, with the OG, so I guess we should just go in order as far as these commentaries go. And the next one is Paul, and we should do a counter every time his name is said. Just get
Oh
a little,
Jesus! I'm not ready. Enos Camp Blood. Yeah, but like they always call it like camp, like they're calling it Camp Blood, and it's like two. Okay, come on, two people got killed. It wasn't like everybody died, right? It
Yeah,
was
that's
just two
true. I
people.
mean,
It
I don't
wasn't like
know.
the entire camp was
If
massacred.
it was like 3+ people, I could see it being
I mean,
Camp
I'm
Blood. But
very sad for the families of those who lost their lives at Camp Blood,
yeah,
but let's be
oh,
real
here's
here.
Crazy Ralph.
God damn it, Ralph. Get.
Y'all get.
I mean,
You should cosplay as Crazy Ralph.
he's not wrong.
That's true.
Just like put your hands all over her ass, why don't you? It's a different
It's like,
time.
here, let me help you. Push.
It's a different time. You know, Crazy Ralph's got a pretty nice bike for a dude who's
Oh.
obviously not employed.
And some decent
He's
clothes.
also pretty well dressed for somebody who's obviously not employed.
Hmm.
Oh, Enos.
The old stick shift. Wait, is it a stick shift?
Yeah, it's a four on the floor or something. This dude is. If I didn't know any better, this guy is my suspect for the killer in the movie.
Steve
Steve
Christie,
Christie,
the
Camp
first.
Zaddy.
the fir-
Yeah, so she's the cook.
okay, she's the cook.
So I guess the question is, how what price did Steve Christie pay to buy this thing? You know, what kind of a deal did he get?
I mean, a pretty good one. I mean, it's unfortunate. Well, I mean, we won't spoil it. We're assuming anyone watching this has already seen this movie, but if you're not,
I mean,
we
for the
won't
love of
spoil
God,
anything.
what are you
So.
doing? But why would you start here with this commentary? But
You know what? It would surprise me.
yes, I mean that's just two kids. What big
Just
whoop,
two.
big whoop. That's no reason to shut down a camp forever, right? I mean,
No, no.
hell, more than two people die in Disney parks every day, and they don't shut them fuckers down.
Straight facts.
Mm.
Mm.
And nobody's died in the year he's been fixing up the place.
Well,
Oh,
nobody's
there, oh, he
busted up
says
the
it. He said
theater.
$25,000.
Oh, well,
I don't feel like I ever remember a price being
I
mentioned.
don't think I do either. No, it alls.
Mm. Oh, Enos.
He's a grunt butt. Oh,
Oh, boom, roasted. Get your ass out of my truck.
what is it? Yeah,
Elston
Elston
Oil
Oil
Supply.
Supply. Thank.
Oh,
They
yeah.
actually do a tour in the town where that bar scene happened
It's not much of a town.
that she walks into. They do like a screening of the movie and the campgrounds and stuff. So
Oh, is the camp actually really close to that town? Like in
I
real
think so.
life?
I don't really know. I know they do tours, but I don't know how close they are together.
I figured that'd be like some of that
There we
depressing.
go. Here's Kevin Bacon's film debut.
Oh, he's got a debut. My question is, why the hell do these kids have such a sweet ass ride?
I mean,
I mean, even for 1980, that's way above their pay grade. They stole Papa's truck.
somebody has a rich daddy
I mean,
or a zaddy, if you will.
that's a sweet ass ride.
Was that a Ford?
Yeah, that's a, with the
Yeah,
fucking
there you go.
custom camper shell.
There's the infamous sign. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake, established in
Yeah, so look,
1935.
1935. So people didn't die until 1958. So it had a long, decent life before everything went to hell. And
Here you
here we
go. Here you
go.
go.
This is the highlight of the
Look
movie.
at his drip. Look at his
This
drip.
guy exudes. This is sex appeal, okay? And I won't have
Yeah.
any slander against Camp Zaddy Steve Christie.
Are his shoes red too? No, it's
No,
the
he's wearing
sock.
like socks.
Okay.
He's wearing like the hot ass wool socks.
Yeah. Why is he doing? Why would you wear that in the summer
But it is
or the
like
spring?
New
Wool
Jersey,
sock.
so I don't know. It doesn't get as
I
ball
mean, just I
blistering
mean,
hot,
he has a shirt on, so
but
and
it's
here's
definitely got
Alice
to be
Crystal.
warm. Steve Christie.
The most underrated, and we might have to do this in the future.
We're gonna have to have a
Film
power
debate.
ranking of all the head camp counselors.
Owners, counselors, authority figures. But yeah, we have
Oh,
Adrian King as Alice Hardy.
you know they really have a pretty small cast in this too.
Yeah. No, why? Okay, what was she gonna do? She was gonna lift that all the way up by herself. There's no way she could have done that.
I mean, that's an awkward ass angle. How are you gonna
And
hold
that's
the
what I'm
gutter
saying
in place in the
because
hammer? Yeah,
it's gonna be tipping on both sides constantly if you have it braced in the middle.
unless you used like a ladder and pushed up
Yeah.
the, have
Yeah.
hold it up with the ladder
And now he's checking out her work, her drawing it.
instead of checking out her ass. See, that's a consummate gentleman. You draw very well.
But I'm stuck here doing this for you, Zaddy Steve. Last night.
it looks like a fucking serial killer portrait.
Plot twist, he's
Is,
the killer.
is that
It's
implying
secret.
that they have a thing together?
Oh yeah, yes, they do. They have, yeah,
Oh, okay. I guess I
yeah,
missed
yeah,
that
yeah.
in all of my hundreds of watchings of this. I just thought he was there.
No, no, no. They
So
had
they
a thing.
okay. I mean, yeah, he's clearly saying I drew you last night, like one of my French girls.
Ooh la la.
Mm.
His glasses are like they're not. They're like
He's like, I got something to straighten you out right now. And he,
his glasses are
keep
like
your pimp
curved at
hand
the
strong,
top, and then
Steve.
they're like sharp edged at the
They're
bottom.
like Septagons, yeah.
You see that? It's like a curve at the top, and then at the bottom it's like.
Bad decision.
And Adrian King is the owner of Crystal Lake Wines. If you're a wine lover who likes dry wines, check them out.
Is
Not a
uh,
sponsor.
is the guy that played Steve still alive?
I don't know. Let me look here.
I mean, I feel like he probably had to be in his 40s filming this, so he'd be like 80 now, right? I mean, this is
Uh,
filmed 1980.
yeah. Let's see.
I don't even know if he really did anything after this.
Peter Bauer.
Peter Bauer.
He's 77 years old.
Did you use the present tense, like he's still alive?
That's what it looks
Oh
like.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, he has one child. He
with
was in
with Adrian King.
Friday the 13th. Um,
What's his discography?
I'm looking here. Man, he was on 14 episodes of As the World Turns, which I believe is a soap opera. Then he was on One Life to Live, 11 episodes.
Well,
Five
those
episodes of All My Children. Yeah, so he's primarily looks like a soap opera actor,
really.
and he has a few small roles, but I mean only 13. So
Hmm, that's weird. Well, I'm about to say I've definitely never remember seeing him in anything that I've ever watched other
no.
than this movie. So
Hmm. Is Street Fighter 6 come out yet? I don't super random, but I think it's coming out.
you, I guess. Boy, that series of games got a messed up timeline. Yeah, he is crazy. Those are some terrible targets.
I know.
Like if Steve's dropping 25,000 on the camp, he couldn't afford to put some more burlap on the front of those things. I mean, damn.
I mean, maybe that was one of the things that they're gonna be doing.
I guess.
Here she comes walking down the street. It's Ann the cook.
Oh, this is such a classic. I just love how they shoot that too. You can't see the driver.
Yeah.
And did you notice the CB radio in the?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh, I bet you are.
Oh no, you're not.
You hussy.
She's driving kind of reckless, a little bit. I don't know. She's
It almost looked like a sped up shot, but the leaves weren't moving.
uh, hmm. I like how it's framed and cut. How we don't hear the other side of the dialogue because obviously there's a conversation happening.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my exit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she intentionally isn't here.
Dun dun.
Dun, 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 dun. This is why you don't catch rides with
Nope.
randos.
Nope.
Well, I mean, when the music picks up like this, it usually means good things.
Imagine jumping out of a moving jeep.
Only to still not get away.
I mean, she got lucky. She didn't like jump out like a second or two later and land on that rock.
That would have been really funny if that's where it ended and she just like hit the tree at like 40 miles an
And
hour
this
and that was it.
done.
It'd still be a cautionary tale.
This might be the most violin heavy horror soundtrack. I don't know for sure, but this is constant. Just
Man, I don't know. Them damn Italian horror movies always have
it's
a
true.
whole full damn orchestra in them.
It's quite impressive. Her jacket around her waist hasn't come undone yet.
Yeah,
All the jumping
completely
and
unrealistic.
and
That's some movie magic. That should have like fallen down to her ankles and tripped her at some point.
right. Oh, here we go.
No, no.
And here's the two tone nut, and that's our first nice special effect from Tom Savini.
Yeah, I just don't really know how they thought this was enough manpower to get this camp ready in a
I mean,
week.
if you have one counselor per cabin, it's still not that
I
many
mean, it
people.
can't be that many campers.
No,
Well, but
maybe
the
10
the
per
cook said
cabin.
it was going to be 50 people
So
total.
maybe a total. Oh,
So that
I
still
don't
seems like
know.
a lot of people and not a lot of staff.
Yeah. We have someone looking from the bushes.
It reminds me of another summer camp we've been to, Camp Coe.
Can't go. Don't know what happened there.
I'm sure it'll all get figured out. We have top men working on the case.
You know, I think tonally, there's not another movie in this series that fits this tone
Mm-mm.
as much. Obviously, you can say Part Two does to some degree, but as far as a equal, a pretty close match, no other movies. I mean, obviously, like two through four all kind of have the same tone. Six and seven and eight all kind of have the same tone to a degree. This one really does stand alone from the pack.
It really is like a Alien versus Aliens
Yeah,
thing. It's like the very first
yeah,
one is very much a psychological horror, like you POV, and then the ones that follow, once your big twist is in place, I mean, it's like, all right, when's Jason gonna start killing people?
right.
It just turns into like a slasher. This is not a
Yeah.
slasher.
Oh, it's not.
This is a slice and dicer. It's
Slice
more
and dicer.
refined. It's tactical. And that is a nice 1980 butt. Double
Hmm.
cheeked up on a Tuesday
Yeah,
evening.
on a Tuesday evening.
Fatality. Oldest trick in the book. Now, I don't know about the rest of you spooky guys and gals, but I sure do love closed captions and subtitles on my movies. So I know exactly what the hell is supposed to be said in situations. I have misheard a lot of things in movies. Even better if they have sound effects that are captioned, like squelching.
There's the snake.
Oh my god!
Bill, come hither.
Look how everybody's like shirts are halfway undone in this movie too. Oh, and we have another classic filler scene. Some bonding amongst the campers. Little little prop humor here. Little property destruction. And honestly, it gets kind of dark there. I mean, literally chopping a snake into pieces. It's pretty unnecessary.
I mean, to be fair, have you ever had snake for dinner?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Not a lot of meat though.
Does it taste like chicken? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a frog leg?
Yeah, it's kind of like greasy.
Uh,
Like not bad, but it's fatty or tasting. I don't know how to
yeah.
explain it. You kids know what you're doing.
Oh, jeez.
Steve Christie, how are you people? What you been
He
smoking,
pays you
bro?
for this? Look at Kevin Bacon coming with the quips.
Colombian cold. That's a pretty good response too. Marcy got the high beams on.
Town crazy. Who was your town crazy? I guess ours was what, the Gold
Gold
Rider? Yeah.
Rider. I guess he's dead.
Or is he?
Uh,
Dun, 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 dun.
was he like homeless or did he just like hang outside all
Thought he was
day?
a pedophile.
Well, that goes to the territory. That's not what we're
Oh.
discussing here. Pedophiles can have homes. That's, that's a whole different thing.
I think he lives out of the that one motel by 3J's.
Well, okay, but like, how the fuck is he paying for that?
Gold riding shenanigans. I don't know.
Gold riding
Much
shenanigans.
like our officer.
Oh, that's true. Our officers did supplement their income by shooting cats. What a disaster. So, that may be the most worthless police officer in the history of horror movies.
Maybe I don't know. The two in Halloween 5 are pretty.
They're pretty
Yeah.
inept, but at least they tried. You know who really wins the medal for the best police officer? It's the one played by Bo in Leprechaun because he
That's
fights
true.
back and he gets
He
some licks
does.
in. He does get some licks in before he gets absolutely fucked up.
Fun fact about this movie, as Crazy Ralph here is letting them know, he's just chilling in the pantry and says, "You
Yeah, he is
have
just
a
chilling in
death
the
curse."
pantry.
Um, just for a fun fact, Jason is not mentioned by name until 1 hour and 16 minutes into this film.
Hmm. But I will continue to mention Marcy and Steve
Another
Christie
fun fact is this movie was
throughout the
mostly
movie.
filmed at Camp Nopi Bosco in Hardwick, New Jersey. They were only allowed to use the camp after making a sizable donation to the Boy Scouts of America. Most of the cast and crew stayed at local hotels during filming. Some of the most dedicated, including Tom Savini, stayed at the actual campsite.
I would have stayed in the
Yeah,
campsite. I think nothing wrong
no,
with it. I mean, where the hell is he even biking off to? That's not even the established entryway to the camp. The driveway's to
he's
the
going to
left.
another part of the camp, which is not getting your problem out of it, just moving your problem to another space.
Yeah, I mean, talk about kicking a can down the road.
Dang,
I
it's not
mean,
wrong, but
it's protein.
yeah.
Oh,
I want to see Kevin Bacon return to the Trimmer series. It's a shame that series for sci-fi didn't get picked up after the pilot.
oh, it
No,
didn't,
they had
did it?
one episode, and there's been some footage that's come out, and it looks really. It's like a modern day, like where's Val after all these years and stuff.
Is it established that graboids are just everywhere now?
I think so. I haven't watched the most recent one, Shrieker Island. That's number 7.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I mean, listen,
I haven't
that
watched
film,
them
that
past
series
three.
has a long running tradition of straight to, because it was straight to video starting with part 2. So that's 6 sequels,
Yeah.
and the
I
TV
mean,
series. So
the original
how
is
impressive is it to
just.
have 3 sequels, or no, 2 sequels to a film and then a series? Because I had a 113 episode series on Sci-Fi between 3 and 4. So, I mean, that's impressive.
It was a cool concept. It's a cool
Yeah.
movie.
One
I
day
need to
we'll
rewatch the first one
one
again.
day we'll talk about that series.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
Because I've only seen, I haven't seen six or
I've only seen the
seven.
first three. I haven't watched
I've
any of the new
seen
ones.
the fourth one is a prequel to the first one.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
and then takes place like in this 1800s, and then
You know what? I may have seen the
it's the
1800
legend
ones.
begins.
Not all
Yeah.
of it.
Um,
Is that the fourth
that's
one
the
or the
fourth
fifth
one.
one? Okay, I think okay. I
The
may have
fifth
seen the
one,
fourth one then.
it came out quite a while after the fourth one. It has
Okay,
Jamie Kennedy and Michael Gross, obviously.
yeah, it's got Bert and
But
all of them. I just
is he wearing
remember.
a Dolphins jersey?
I
Or
think it's a legally safe knockoff
legally
Dolphins
safe
jersey.
knockoff? There we go. 88.
It's just generic '80s like
Right.
sports shirts. Hello.
This weather doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Kevin Bacon. You know what an underrated movie is that Kevin Bacon is in? Since we can play some 6 degrees here, is Hollow Man, also starring Greg Grunberg. And
Yeah,
that was like a nice modern retelling of The Invisible Man without it being called The Invisible Man.
Invisible Man, which nobody owns the rights to. It's
Is it public
public
domain? Yeah,
domain.
that's true.
Pretty sure it's public domain. Pretty sure it's public domain. I think all almost all the original Universal monsters are public domain
Yeah,
now. Like the
yeah.
concept of them.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't.
Oh, there was some interesting stuff this year that was
It
public domain. I
was.
forgot. There was a couple of interesting ones. I can't remember exactly what it was. There was
Mm,
a couple of, like old cartoons
let's see.
that I
The
actually recognized.
May 1923. So we have some Hardy Boy novels.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Like the first
Ooh.
3. Ooh, The Color Out of Space, which is a good
Okay, yeah. That
adaptation
was one.
with Nick Cage in it. Films: Uncle Tom's Cabin, Chicago, The Jazz Singer, Tarzan,
Metropolis.
Metropolis. Yes.
Metropolis. That's what it
Yep.
was. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah. The Lodger by Alfred Hitchcock, To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf.
Damn, that was made in 23?
Yeah,
Holy shit, Hitchcock made movies for like 50 years,
yeah, he
didn't he?
did. He made some black and white. I want to say he made some silent ones, but
I mean, he would have had
yeah,
to because I don't think talkies were invented till the mid teens.
yeah.
Well,
So,
popular feature length, I
have
guess.
you
I
heard
think
the
they
news
were
that we finally have some
butt
um
crack.
well, we
We
have
got a
that,
butt
that's
crack
true.
alert.
Yes, that is obvious, but we also have some
Isn't.
clarity on
Oh,
the legal situation with the franchise.
oh.
Did you see that or no? Oh.
No. What's our boy Larry up to?
um so
Larry Zerner. an entertainment attorney at law. Also played Shelly in Part 3. We have an
Sure,
interview with him back in the day.
we do. Um, I need to see. Let me see. Friday legal status.
And we get some
All right, so
Kevy
basically,
B
so what
partial
it
nudity.
is, we do, and we get probably one of the more infamous kill scenes, but um, let's see.
Oh, they're getting drenched all right.
So
Yeah.
the rights, it's confusing because the rights go
Who's in the
to
bed?
um, they rolled it in September 2021 to be in favor of Victor Miller, the writer.
Isn't he?
Now,
Oh, he's still alive.
yeah,
I thought the problem was that somebody was dead and that was like messing it up
no,
too.
but they just announced, let's see, a series, Peacock thing.
I can't remember. So why the hell was it such an issue then?
Yeah, here we go.
Who was claiming they owned it still and didn't have it right?
Well, the thing was, the name Friday the 13th, the all the elements of the original story are Victor's. Now, adult Jason, the hockey mask, that's all Sean Cunningham. So essentially, they need to work together on a deal to get stuff to happen. Um, but as of November 1st, 2022, Peacock announced a brand new prequel series to the iconic horror franchise called Crystal Lake will be coming out. Um, it's coming from the people that made the Hannibal series from
Hmm.
Brian Fuller. So, and A24 is producing as well. So could be good. Could be pretty good.
Oh god, we'll get the Ari Aster treatment. We'll see.
You're not a
They don't.
fan of Ari
They don't.
Aster?
They don't need to make it into anything more than it is. It's very, very simple. Now that's a pretty. That's a pretty badass reveal.
Yeah. I mean, imagine just. I mean, I would guess you would know until when the drips on his head that you're underneath a dead body. That would be,
A little product placement for Milton Bradley here.
yeah.
Formerly Milton Bradley, now owned by Hasbro. R.I.P. Milton
Oh,
Bradley.
really? I
Well,
did not know
it's been
that.
part of Hasbro for like 20 years now.
Oh.
R.I.P. the original board game company.
All right. Who's this? Is this Kevin? Is
Oh,
this
oh,
K Bizzle?
Kev,
K Bizzle?
slipping it in his film debut. I mean, come on, man.
That's a that's a that's a win in my book.
How you gonna get cast for your first movie and get laid in it and not die first?
It's true. Look at him. Hurry back. Let me put my Forest Green shirt back on here. And,
I
oh,
mean, no, I'll just let some other dude jump in bed. What?
Steve, come here. Come here, Steve.
Steve, come here. Oh, Steve. There wasn't enough screen time for Steve
There
in
really
this movie.
wasn't. There really wasn't.
I
I
would,
don't know what that's
I,
about.
if, I'm telling you, if this prequel wants to get my love and
It's
affection,
not
then
gonna
it,
get Steve.
it
It's
needs to
not.
have Steve
It's not.
Christie heavily in it.
It's a prequel. It's going to be probably with Pamela, much like Bates Motel was a prequel to Psycho.
Oh, okay, Norman. I'm just saying. You can dedicate one episode to the origin of Steve Christie buying the camp.
We should
Maybe
try
that
to
should be
get
our fan
that.
film. Can we get Chris? He's already done the Pam Voorhees. Let's do a Steve Christie fan film. The people want a Steve Christie fan film. You
Hey,
let me know. You can email me directly
directly. There you
on
go.
the internet. You can
Hmm.
send me messages.
On the machine, yes.
Type it into Google. Type it into Google. You say send Shelby an email.
www
You go
dot
to
zzy.
you go to squidflix.com and you ask for the manager
You
and we'll
carrying out a little bit.
and you talk about how you want
All right,
a
here we
Steve
go.
Christie origin story.
What is that? Is it?
Oh
Oh,
shit.
oh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
sucky weighted on.
That was pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty brutal. Because I don't even really understand the logistics of that. Through the
Through the
mattress
mattress,
and the neck.
through the neck, up.
That is a very, very sharp blade.
I mean,
That is a lot of
let's just
strength.
say it. Let's just
And
say
you're
it.
pinning
Let's just
down
say it.
somebody from the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
So, like, the
Let's just
wingspan of that.
no.
That's like an
Pamela,
orangutan.
Pamela Voorhees is an orangutan.
I mean, that is just a stupid wingspan.
Strength and just the. I mean, okay. I mean, I know this isn't like canon, but how tall is Betsy Palmer? Or was Betsy Palmer?
I bet she's 5'8", soaking wet.
Soaking wet. Let's see. She was 5'7".
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty tall for a woman,
Yeah.
but I don't
She
think
was
5'8" tall
born
enough to do what you
November
just did
1st
there.
in 26 and died 2015.
Now, what?
Mal will he make it? But
What I don't understand is why she was taking a piss on her tippy toes in that shot. It didn't really make any. It's almost like she was in a shower stall and she didn't want her feet to touch the grass floor, but she was like the
don't
way
know.
that shot starts is like she's standing on her tippy toes. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand the.
So for our Patreon viewers, you're seeing this video of this commentary. Um, is that a Pikachu pinata I see on your
Yeah, it's
shelf?
a Pikachu pinata.
Is that new?
No, it's from my 8th birthday party. You were there.
Was it used?
We didn't smash it
So is
because we
this
were all
just a
weak.
decorative?
We were all weak
Oh,
garbage and didn't smash it open. So Dad had to chop the hole in the bottom of it.
so Pikachu shat at your eighth
Yeah,
birthday,
yeah, he did. You all did. I think I've got footage of it.
and then we consumed it. So there you go.
I think it's in the Bible. Something about take of my body and eat it. I'm pretty sure it's a Pokemon reference. There's something in there. I don't know. Don't
What's
quote me on that.
that's it's totally off
That's
topic.
going on our
It's
KOH
Pokemon.
sound bites.
What is your what's your opinion on this shocking revelation that Ash Ketchum is going to be phased out of the main Pokemon anime?
I don't know. I mean, he was kind of a loser. Took him 20 years to win the championship. I mean, I guess he. I guess really Pokemon did a great job of teaching us that we will ultimately never strive for anything better than mediocrity and that we should accept that. And it's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
Because, damn, that boy moved around a lot of places and never took home a W. Oof, those nips are just spectacular.
Yeah.
But,
Which
yes.
I mean that's there too with an axe.
Uh oh. A lot of variety in the arsenal in this one too. You know,
Oof, that's a
lots
good
of
shot.
lots of implements.
Yeah.
So we have a machete
No,
slice. We have a knife
well,
stab. We have a knife stab in the throat.
was it machete?
I think the machete slice for the first kid dead in the bed.
Okay.
Kevin Bacon killed with a knife.
Strip poker or no strip monopoly.
Strip Monopoly. I'd like to know the rules for Strip Monopoly.
I know. Yeah. Is it every time you have to pay somebody?
I I guess
I mean, that's what I would do.
that's a pretty long drawn out game of strip board game.
That's if you're having a movie marathon and like a 666 marathon or something.
If I got naked for every 666 marathon I was a part of, well, I'd probably still have most of my clothes on. Wear a lot of layers.
He does. I've seen it, Raja.
Raj. I don't I don't know why you would leave the building that has power.
And it's not wet if
And
you
it's
want.
been established that like the power is not very good here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if the cabins necessarily would have had power.
Mm-hmm.
Classic. At least we get some more Steve time.
We do. Diner.
You know what? And Steve earned this break. He's been busting his ass up there by himself. It was about time he hired some help and took a break. You know,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that his house of cards is going to come tumbling down. Well, three.
6 new caps on. What's
Oh,
true?
well, yeah, three.
Yeah, 3. Well, if you count, yeah, counselors, yeah.
Well, one didn't arrive, so
But
technically,
no, no, but she was a counselor. She was a cook.
yeah. Well, but he probably would have mentioned the cook if she was there, but she didn't show up.
Yeah.
So he only had 6 people total on
You
staff right
know,
now.
this fit by Steve is another gangbanger. It's one that's not talked about often enough. Obviously, when you think of
His
Steve,
whole fit.
you think of his ascot
I
bandana wrapped
mean,
around my
this
neck type
jacket.
thing. His jacket though, his jacket's another one.
I mean, he's got accessories for days.
He's, I mean, honestly,
He's a
what's
stylish man. What
what's
can't Steve do?
what's Alice thinking?
I
Huh?
guess we'll I guess we'll find out what Steve can't do very soon, unfortunately. But
Survive.
survive. What sucks, honestly, this whole like mini arc in the movie, like the Steve returning to camp in the rain with the jeep, it has mad shades of Jurassic Park and Dennis Nedry in the filming of it. Just like
Yeah,
I've always thought, because he's wearing the yellow jacket. Dennis wears the yellow jacket.
yeah.
He can't see. He's got glasses. He has vehicle trouble. It's just oh yeah, you got Tomahawk Lake.
Yeah.
Tomahawk Lake is the name of the lake officially in this. Did they drop that in future movies? I don't think it's ever. They
Uh,
never call it Tomahawk Lake or anything, but it was interesting. They show the sign for the Crystal Lake, and they have a sign for Tomahawk Lake.
yeah.
I guess the power is working in the bathhouse, which is a weird place for the power to work. But the way these cabins are laid out kind of confuses me because when they kill the snake earlier in the movie, they're in a small dorm bunk, but this is like the big shared bathroom
Yeah.
area. So it's weird. It seems like a very large camp, and like I said again, it does not seem like they have enough staff. This has a lot of like buildings. I know it's probably clever shots. They're probably reusing different sections of
Yeah,
the same
probably.
building, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of like shots of the camp, and there are several buildings in those static shots. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It just seems like 6 people and a cook plus Steve, which I'd assume Steve wouldn't be running day to day operations. He'd be the one running the
Maybe,
town and stuff
but
too.
I don't know. Knowing him, I think he would.
I
He
mean, I
probably.
feel like Steve, he'd be a very hands on zaddy head counselor, but he's also the one paying the bills and signing the paychecks. So you gotta go
Sure.
to town
Yeah,
because
go to town.
he's paying in cash in this operation.
Yeah. Uh,
So question is, how much did this job pay?
don't know. It's a question for more.
It's a question for Steve. It's a
Yeah.
question for Steve. I'll uh, I'll get a draft right now to him.
Yeah.
I'll get a draft on his desk. And then the
Yep.
question is, where's Steve's office? Where did he reside at camp? Does he have a room in the main cabin, or has he got his own separate cabin? There's just so much about Steve I want to know. The rest of
Yeah.
these kids, I could take them or leave them. I mean, I love them. I love them Marcy Nips, but I mean, other than that, Kevin Bacon, he's just a little shit. He'll never amount to anything. He won't have a career after this. But yeah,
uh,
like this right here is just like
we
iconic.
got the old copper here asking. What would it care if you were dragging a trailer or not?
uh, the weight.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, yeah, that
guess
makes
he's
sense.
implying he's stuck in the mud when it clearly looks like the truck's just parked on the side of the road because somebody
Yeah.
didn't want to mess up their nice vehicle for the movie. I'm
Yep.
sure that was one of the director's cars. It does not look like he was in trouble.
No.
And on the captions, it says discordant, menacing theme playing.
Hmm.
That's what the official caption
There you
description of
go.
the theme song.
Yeah.
Discordant, menacing theme. That's the name of my ska band. So we're lighting candles in here, but we had lights on earlier in this building. So has the generator run out already?
Maybe.
I am trying to remember. I feel like no, the lights outside
Oh,
still
no, the
on.
light's on. She's just old fashioned.
I guess
Likes to blow
she
her
doesn't want
thermostats
to she, she doesn't want to walk across the room and flip the light switch and then have to sneak back across the room in the dark because she's scared of the dark.
Lazy.
That's
Lazy.
lazy. I mean, I do it all the time, man. This stupid house has light switches on the other end of the room all the time. You just learn how to walk through dark rooms, you idiot. Or just sleep with all the lights on because you're too lazy to turn them off. You
Uh,
idiot. It's that simple. Electric companies hate this one simple trick. Like and subscribe to find out more. Shit. My pants.
what is your favorite Friday the 13th thing we've done ever? Ever.
Uh, we've done a lot.
I don't
We've done
know.
a lot. I would have to say,
I think we've done more for St. Patrick's
I
Day
don't
maybe.
know.
Maybe, I
Maybe.
don't know.
Man, I gotta say it's the OG Friday the 13th film marathon filmed
Yeah.
on VHSC
Yep. Yep.
and
Me
the
too.
ungrounded mic ground
With
loop buzz
Ollie actually because we actually had
in the
DJ
shed.
Ollie in the shed watching Friday Part Five,
Oh, there was a lot of
and
timeless
he
footage we got.
yes, and we'll get that up at some point. But he does this awesome line when Joey is trying to give Vic the candy bar, and it's hilarious. So we'll have to post that sometime. But
We'll get that up on the SPF archives. You know, this movie doesn't really have a bad pace either. It does move at a pretty good rate.
yeah, it does
I mean, when it
absolutely.
finally, I mean, when it picks up here, it runs. But
Hmm.
this is a cool
Yeah,
scene. I mean, how annoying is it to do fake rain on set?
I have no
This
idea.
has got to be like
It has to
so
be fake
annoying to
though.
do.
Yeah.
Like, how much work is it to do this?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in ever faking rain. Let's just film in real
Oh,
rain and
really?
be miserable. Yeah, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, you can get Ollie to do that.
Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
Plucks
ba-dum.
guitar strings randomly is what the caption
I
says.
just had two asterisks on mine.
You gotta
As
pay. You gotta pay for the good captions.
yeah.
Voodoo's got some good. Voodoo actually has really good captions. I don't know.
Hmm.
They should be the same everywhere for like disability compliance, but I've noticed that Voodoo has the best.
Yeah.
They actually describe important sounds really well.
Like wah wah wah.
Like door opens. It said
Yeah.
door opens
There
when
you go.
she
Yeah, there you
looked.
go.
Like you can literally watch without any sound and still understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Brenda. And you didn't think that was suspicious? Oh,
Yeah, you
you can
can.
go.
Boom, chicka, boom.
I don't know. Can you? No, really. Can you? I don't want to be here all night. I'll get paid enough. Jack and Marcy. Marcy, Marcy, Marcy.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. There's a hatchet. Ooh.
With the, I do like the attention to detail with the blood on the edge getting
Yeah,
onto the pillow. That
yeah,
was
it
nice.
was
I don't
nice.
know how realistic,
I don't either, but it was enough for me. It was enough for me.
but admittedly, I haven't killed a lot of people with an axe to the
No,
face. So
no.
let's just appreciate that Marcy's luscious nips were spared, and only her face suffered. Hmm. And it's interesting that they choose to go to every single place where they're going to end up finding bodies.
Yeah,
It's very convenient. There's not really any rationale other than we're trying to find people, but they've obviously not been concerned about people's location until this point. So, it just seems kind of fake to me, you know. Steve Christie wouldn't have allowed this to happen. I do argue that if Steve was here,
yeah.
if he didn't leave for the evening, none of this would have happened. The
You
cook
know
would still
what?
be dead, but I don't think that Pam would have had the balls to show up and start killing people on site if Steve was here and she knew Steve was here. She takes advantage of a sneak attack.
Mm.
It's cowardly.
How long do you think it took this film to be cut,
To be
to
cut?
be edited?
Oh, 2 weeks.
10 weeks.
Well, I guess it was real film. I imagine
I
there's only
guess, yeah.
so fast you can do
Yeah.
that.
But geez, that's a long time though, I feel like.
I can't. I can't speak to that. It did take me 5 years to finish. Backtrack.
If
Just
I
because I was upset with a 30-second visual sequence that I wanted to make perfect. The
yeah.
movie had been sitting 99% done. I just didn't like my special effects rendering.
Yeah.
So,
Betsy Palmer was 53 when this movie was filmed.
damn, she's a stone cold fox. 53. I mean, no, no, I don't think you will. I don't think there's anything to laugh about here. Now, I can't remember. The car wouldn't start, but is that because Betsy sabotaged it? Or it's just bad luck? Is it just
I don't
movie
know.
magic? Do you
Uh,
think Betsy would have sabotaged the vehicles, or do you think she
Probably just
was?
movie magic. Probably because it was too much rain. Oh no.
There you go, Steve dropping knowledge.
Yeah.
Buddy, you got more than just Crazy Ralph running around.
This is the only Friday the 13th film where the killer slaps one of the victims, speaks while trying to kill someone, and drives.
Hmm. And then here, another unfortunate circumstance. The cop would have normally been taking Steve all the way into the camp. We might have had a chance to do something and get
It's
people
true.
out with a working car, but of course, it just ain't meant to be. I'll walk
Yep.
the rest of the way. This movie has more half hitchhiking than any other film I think I've ever seen.
Steve Christie is named after Steve Miner, the film's associate producer, who also directed parts two, and he directed part three, and he also directed Halloween H2O and Warlock.
Morlock.
So he's directed both Jason and Michael.
Is he the only one to jump
I think so.
franchises?
I think so.
I mean, this is just this is
Mm-hmm.
dirty.
This is an iconic scene too.
It is. Man, bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
She took advantage of familiarity and killed an upstanding member of the local community and economy. Steve Christie was just trying to bring a service
It
back to the
was. It
people
was.
and
I
maybe bang
agree.
a couple counselors along the way if they consented. Legal casual. Cross your T's and dot your I's before you touch tips, kids. It's very important.
Yes. Very important.
Very important. I don't know why those Coleman lanterns are like so damn good at what they do, but they are.
I know.
I still don't understand how the little wicks on those work, but them sons of bitches are bright
Yeah.
and they last a long time. You you run out of the gas in them like two or three times before you have to replace the actual wicks in them.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that sucks is they have that really annoying like propane whooshing sound. They can be
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
loud. Remember we had them at scout camp and they'd be like hanging up outside the tents
Mm-hmm.
in the walkways. If you had like the tent next to the lantern, it was kind of annoying until you turned them off at night.
Yeah.
That couch looks uncomfortable as
God.
hell.
It really does.
And it looks like it smells bad.
Yeah. It looks like it's like some mildew going on.
That looks like it's had a bunch of teenagers beating off on it for decades.
Just
Musty ass
since
couch.
1935.
You know,
Since
everything in that
camp was established.
shit just smells bad. Mildewed.
Yep.
Bow of gas. That makes two of us. If you catch my drift. We have ominous theme plays softly.
There we go.
Who did it better, Friday the 13th or Iced Avenger? Ominous theme playing softly.
I have to give it slightly to F-13. Slightly, just
Oh, they only beat us to it by 30 years.
yeah, that's true.
Generator. Bill, Bill, Bill.
Well,
Shh.
well, it says Betsy Palmer was padded out and had to wear lots of layers of clothing to bulk her up because
Yeah, I mean, she
director
was
Sean Cunningham
swole as fuck.
wanted her to look more masculine. So there you go.
I mean, she's built like a linebacker in this.
Hmm.
So, I mean, like, she's got the strength, but I still just dispute the wingspan for the Kevin Bacon
She
guy.
she worked on the film for 10 days, for which she received $1,000 per day.
Bam. So she was the highest paid actor by far, right?
Probably.
I bet the rest of these kids made $1,000 total. How much do you think Kevin Bacon made for this movie?
That's true. I
They
don't
probably
know.
gave him a pack of cigarettes and let him touch titty during the movie. Like, is that good enough, Kev?
Just be happy.
Just be
You
happy.
get this.
Did you get to touch real titty? Yes. And the world has proof.
Uh,
Bill! Yeah, I guess, like, officially at this point, by this point in the film, she's fucked.
yeah.
But we haven't seen the true proof.
No, right. Yeah.
I mean, it's heavily implied that Steve's not in good shape, but he wasn't shown explicitly dying, and Bill has now gone mysteriously gone.
If you want to do that, yeah, you can say that Steve was
He was not confirmed dead on camera yet.
ever. I mean, he's that one POV shot of him being stabbed. That's it. You assume he died.
Oh, I for some reason I thought we catch a glimpse of him. Yeah, this is pretty fucking brutal.
Oh yeah. Mm.
That would have taken a lot of time too. But it
Yeah. But
is
geez.
shown that spending a lot of time bucking around and putting a pot of water on boil. So
Yep. Those violins, though.
no, for some reason I thought we see like Steve's body when she goes to the jeep towards the end when she tries to take the car.
I do have the Friday Part 8 vinyl soundtrack, which features Darkest Side of the Night, the amazing intro to Part 8, with various shots of Times Square.
I
Oh my
just
gosh, Shelby.
I just like how in the movie they're playing it on like the boombox.
Yeah. You know, okay, so guess who was considered for the role of Mrs. Voorhees?
Audrey Hepburn.
Louise Lasser, who was the mom from Blood Rage.
Well, that would have been too on the nose.
She was considered for the role, so that
I
would
could
have
see it.
been
I mean, she
I.
was, and then that would just
Hey,
make it.
she played that really well though.
Then she would just make
So
that, linked to Terry and Todd. This is why she's gone insane. She just
yeah,
these damn
yeah,
summer camp kids drove her nuts. Her kids are crazy. Everybody's
right,
crazy, so
right.
she hates kids. So she starts killing teenagers.
Yep,
I guess it'd have to be a prequel to Blood Rage.
true. That's true. It would, yeah, it'd have to be. I mean, props to Alice. She's given her best here to try to block that doorway.
And the door opens.
Wedging,
And the
wedging.
door opens out.
Okay, that chair isn't gonna do
The
anything,
door
but
opens out. It just opens and all the furniture just falls out.
it's, it's a pull, not a push.
It's a pull. Like she's on the other side. Pam's outside. It's a pull, not a push. Hey, 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 hey.
Okay.
She got her ass beaten stick and the yellow rain jacket, ready to lay down some whammies. Nothing like a prong fork. I mean, what are you gonna do? I guess you could go for the face with that thing. And then you have your stock wildlife noises.
Old Brenda.
Oh. Was Did I just screw up my movie timeline? Was Brenda's death shown, or was it an off-screen kill? Because she was at no, she just went to bed, right? She just blew the candle out and went to sleep.
I don't recall her being killed.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how she's dead. She's wrapped up in rope, and she was thrown through the window. So that means that old Pam had to go back over to the dorm and her cabin and pull her out just to hurl her body through the window in the most dramatic fashion possible.
And that sounds about right.
Oh God. I mean, this is just grade A of manipulation. But astute viewers will realize that's not Steve's Jeep. Steve's Jeep had a trailer attached to it.
That's
Oh
true.
no, this must be the mystery killer from earlier who was driving a Jeep.
Maybe so.
The Christies.
Bum, 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 bum.
Is Steve native to the camp area? I
Mm-hmm.
guess so. So he's left behind a legacy of sadness. Show me. Press X for doubt. I highly doubt that. Who could have done something like this?
So young, so pretty.
I wouldn't worry about Bill.
No.
And his name was John
Cena.
Cena. Well, maybe if he had to be watched every minute, lady, you shouldn't have sent him to camp.
That's
Not,
valid.
no, he certainly wasn't a good swimmer, and they'll elaborate that on further entries in this series. But weirdly enough, once he's dead and resurrected, he becomes a pretty good swimmer. I guess he just walks on the fucking bottom of the lake
Yep. I guess so.
like a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Never a good sign when somebody just like leaps into a flashback mid conversation.
Yep. Son, and today's his birthday.
And I'm celebrating by killing you. And I'd do it again if it wasn't for you meddling
Meddling
kids.
kids.
I mean, literally.
It's true. You know, I mean, that's
This,
not wrong.
she's just openly admitted to this being the second time she's come back and killed kids at this camp.
Right.
With his deformed ass. Why was he that far out in the lake?
I was just thinking that.
I mean, there's nowhere close to shore. Like, how would he have gotten out that far? It's like somebody threw him out there off a boat. I mean, Jesus. This is completely preventable. It's a tragedy. The whole thing's a tragedy.
It's a... Yes.
Jason shouldn't be dead. Shelly shouldn't be dead.
No.
Paul should be dead.
but you know what? We don't know if Paul's dead or not.
Camp Zaddy, Steve Christie.
To be fair, we don't know if Paul's dead or not.
I highly suspect that he isn't. That's why I'm angry. Paul should be dead. I don't think he does.
Okay,
yeah, there's Steve. Yeah. See, I thought they showed it when it's bullshit.
I forgot about that.
It's fucking bullshit. Bullshit.
Man.
R.I.P. Steve. Rest in power. Rest in power, Zaddy.
Zaddy up there and down there.
2 thumbs up.
And here.
2 thumbs up for head counselor / owner / sexiest man alive, Steve Christie.
Steve Christie.
Boy, Pam is.
Imagine being so up in your head that you have a monologue where you're talking to yourself as your son.
I don't even. Isn't it like it's like fleshed out in the later ones that he wasn't even like fucking verbal, right? He fucking didn't even talk.
I don't know. Well, no, obviously not, because in the little flashback thing, he said, "Mommy, mommy." But that could have been her own head.
Yeah, well, I think it is because in later ones he just like he's like so deformed he can't even fucking speak.
That's after he's. I don't think he has any actual audible sounds in 2 or 3 or 4, and that would be the ones that he would be.
So I think it's even creepier that she's giving him a voice that he doesn't even have.
Yeah.
Like, so you're just killing on behalf of this dude. He probably didn't care until he found out you were dead. Really, honestly, he doesn't have any motivation until. I think it's the bad blood of her negative energy is what brings him back to life.
Yeah.
Because he's dead. He's canonically dead in this movie. He's dead. She's not so crazy.
Is he though? Because the whole thing about
she had him locked up or something.
No, that he survived the drowning and just lived in the woods, and he happened
to feral kid.
Happened to see his mom be killed through the woods, because that would explain the age difference.
Yeah.
From this to part 2.
Because then you also have the. Because isn't there when?
I mean, that's the only way it would logically make sense if he survived the drowning and he lives, and this film takes place and he's older, obviously, because that's how he's older in part 2.
It's not that big of a lake. You're telling me they couldn't find a body? I mean, that's pretty crazy to me.
I mean, I haven't seen the medical records, so I cannot comment on that issue. So
I feel like since they tried to, since they take it in a supernatural realm with Jason Goes to Hell and the whole fucking stabbing him, you stab him with the fucking pole that gets electrocuted to bring him back to life again after you kill him. So I feel like I like the thought that she was just so fucking crazy and kept him alive through her negative ass crazy murder energy that it somehow brings him back as a vengeful spirit.
I mean, maybe.
Oh, what the fuck is that called? Like a wraith. He's like a wraith. He's like a thing brought back with malice.
Yeah.
But the real Jason would not have wanted this. The Jason we lost, Jason 1.0, was just a happy, really fucked up little kid
Yeah.
who didn't deserve to drown. But this movie's a lesson, kids, on why an eye for an eye doesn't get you anywhere. Get Steve Christie killed, and was it worth it? I don't think so. The franchise takes a dark turn after Steve Christie's death. It's just not the same. Imagine a world where every year is a successful, fun camp where everybody learns lessons and they're happy, and that's
But
the
we know
film.
that's not the case, though.
I mean, it could be though. If
Oh,
Steve lived, what could we have had?
oh, it just ends. Dead.
I'm ready for Amityville, Camp Crystal Lake. Does that exist yet? Can we
No.
do that one?
No. Sure. Why not?
Can we?
Why
Hey, can we do Amityville, Steve Christie? Where he was gonna buy the house, but he couldn't afford it, so he decided to buy Camp Crystal Lake instead.
Sure. Well,
They were both the same price, but he couldn't get the zoning because he wanted to turn the house into a bed and breakfast. And
uh,
like 45 minutes of the movie is him at like the code enforcement like office, like trying to get the fucking permits.
oh man, that's funny. That's good.
And there's like 15 minutes of driving,
Yeah, yeah.
and then maybe 30 minutes of something happening, but we've spaced that out in between. There's like 3 minutes total contiguous of actual action that moves the plot forward. And then you'll have a recipe that's better than like every single movie that has Amityville in the name, except for the first one. God, the first one's a masterclass. I mean, she knows you're in there.
Yeah.
Do you think Pam ever worked for the camp?
She did. She worked as a cook.
So she was a cook.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So she's not completely full of shit when she says she worked. The question is, did Steve's like parents actually own the camp? If she worked for the Christies, is she implying that like
So,
Steve's
yeah,
like
I
a
think
third
so.
generation owner or something, or second generation
Or
owner of the
second
camp?
or something. Yeah. I think so. Yes.
You know, for all the stupid strength that she's shown, her inability to knock this door in like two hits is
I know.
disturbing.
That's true.
I'm not occupied. I'm not in here. And then she straight up just opens the door like normally.
she goes. She goes for just straight up like fatality, just head slice. She went. Whoosh. Make sure she's dead.
You have to crush
You
the
have
skull in
to.
this situation. I
Yes.
mean, you're already going to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're already going to jail.
Just go ahead and ensure that you're
The
safe.
question is, I mean, what's the record keeping situation here? Would anybody even know that you worked here? Could you just disappear and like they just come back and find all these bodies and they're like, what the
No,
fuck happened?
listen. She could probably kill her, go to the office, take her file, burn it,
That's what I'm
and
saying. Like
you're
I feel
yeah,
like that's
and you're
this is
done.
like the perfect. You
Yeah,
could have been the person killing everybody all along and pin
yeah.
it on Pam
Anybody.
and
Yeah.
then just disappear. Like
Yep.
this is literally how serial killers operated for
Yeah.
decades
They
until police started sharing records across state lines.
stay
It's
line.
absolutely fucking stupid how inept police were in
Yeah.
the 60s and 70s. It is
I don't know.
tremendous.
Here we go.
Iconic fight scenes. Top 10 betrayals in anime.
Yes, absolutely.
It was I,
Dio.
Dio.
Mm.
Ah!
I mean, Betty's trying.
I detect the stand user. biting. I mean, if you're gonna commit crimes, you got to go with the sweater. It's just a versatile piece of clothing. It's absorbent.
Let us know in the comments if you
What
ever
would you
want
wear?
to see. No. If you ever want to see me and Shelby do a 24-hour
Oh God.
live stream marathon of Friday films, or just do the whole Paramount era, do parts 1 through 8.
Well,
Let us
that's
know if you
those are
want
the only
that.
ones that I own digitally. So
There you go. And there we go, slice and dice, and the head, and the
okay.
hand.
So regrettably, I don't have squirt as a sound on my captions. It didn't do
Oh
any
yeah.
captions for the sound effects on that.
Oh,
That seems like a
interesting.
missed opportunity.
It does. Just have squirt on your
Or
screen.
just say squelch. Just say squelch.
Squelch.
Tranquil piano theme playing.
Yeah. Here we go. She's like,
But
I'm getting. She's like, screw it. I'm getting this
I
canoe.
mean, it's
I'm,
honestly
I'm
the
drifting.
smartest move all movie. You know, did she? I mean, whatever. But I feel like this dream sequence, though, is my argument for the rave theory that the
Yeah.
negative energy summons a vengeful, powerful, almost unkillable deity. Regenerating. I mean, he's
This
fucking.
this trend is continued in part 2 and part 3 with the pseudo fake out. Is it real? Is it not? Ending. So
Which is bullshit. They dropped that because that was one of my favorite parts. Was you
yeah.
don't know what the hell is that? What
I mean,
happened?
this music sounds very dreamy. Like
It does.
has a slight effect on it. It makes it seem like it's like
But why would the cops know to come? That's why I feel like it is a dream because.
no. Well,
But
because
why would the cops be showing up the next day? Like nobody called the cops. Nobody got a call
I
out.
mean, I mean, all we know is it's drifting. It's been days. We don't know.
Oh, well, I guess
I mean,
possibly.
if she's out there just drifting like this on a lake, going super slow.
No audible dialogue, is what
Hey,
the caption
hey,
says.
yo,
Hey yo,
hey.
get your ass out the lake. But this figure is assumed to be Jason, correct?
Oh yeah, it is absolutely.
Which is even crazier. Yeah.
Because it's
But he's a
deformed
boy
kid
in this,
Jason.
you know, like
Yes,
that's like the wraith. It could be
yes,
whatever. It's a vengeful spirit of the lake.
yeah, we could. Then we
It's just a cool.
slow that down a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, you're just crazy.
Yep.
It's okay. Give us some Valium.
Give me some volume.
It's the only way I can get through these audio commentaries anymore.
Put her on her side so she doesn't.
What if she was in the same hospital that Dr. Chalice is working in right now?
It's probably the case, honestly.
Hello, nurse.
Actually, no. This was in like
Yeah, this is
New
like
Jersey,
6 years too early and
and complete
different
opposite
state.
direction.
Different state. But hello, nurse.
Yeah. Hello, officer.
Hello, officer.
Good because they did some terrible things to you.
Well, the Valium's probably not going to help with the memory. You probably should ask the questions before you gave her
Valium.
Valium. Bitch, none of that happened. Come here, boy.
Boy.
Dude, do you have a boner right now? Shut up, don't ruin this for me.
We need to do a Phantasm thing sometime.
Oh, God. I don't know if I have the energy to watch Reg not get laid for four,
5.
five
Please.
now films.
Yes.
He just tries so hard.
And this music right now is very appropriate to that to that statement and cause.
He tries so hard. I don't know. I mean, I think if I could do it all over again, I'd still give Steve the keys. Best summer camp ever.
Ah, and that is the
No
end
Franken
of
beans.
Friday the 13th.
Oh shit, Miss Voorhees was in this?
She was in this.
I thought that was just Pam.
There we go. We
Marcy.
finished
Delicious.
Friday the 13th. So yeah,
Peter
usually,
Brower.
yes.
Delicious. And Rex Everhart, the truck driver.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Crazy Ralph doesn't even get a top billing. He's a with. The truck driver got a better billing than Crazy
Really?
Ralph, and he has less screen time.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, actually, I don't know. He might have pretty good screen time.
That's interesting. But yeah, that
Old
was
Tom Savini, that crazy motherfucker being
Friday the
employed.
13th. This was the film
Shout
that
out to Gaffer
started it.
Tad Page.
Oh. Um,
Best Boy, Jim Beckeris.
hmm,
The Property Mistress, Alice McGuire.
hmm, Mistress.
Miss Palmer's Hairstyle by Catherine Vickers.
Hmm.
Opticals by the Optical House.
Oh, well, there you go.
Sound effects by Ross Gaffney Incorporated.
Yeah.
The Second Union Assistant Cameraman, Mike Hirsch.
Hmm.
Hairstyles by 6 Feet Under. Did they get their hair done by morticians? What the hell?
It sounds like
What kind
it.
of a name is that for a hairstylist place? 6 Feet Under? Music is copyright 1980 by Logo Music Limited. All rights reserved. Lenses and Panaflex camera by Panavision.
There you go. Panavision for the win.
Ownership of this
I'm
motion picture
a
is protected by copyright.
Airy fan myself, but I'm about to jump on the Black Magic wagon.
You can jump on the Black Magic wagon when we got Black Magic money, because we ain't got no damn money,
Which means
Mr.
you
Black
need to
Magic.
support something we have coming up. I don't know if it's been released yet. We'll find out soon. But
And we
if
get the Paramount logo again.
yes, no,
I'm just trying to narrate this for them. This
is
is
it
what
the
they asked
blue
for.
one or is it
It went
the?
both. It did the same thing. It
Uh,
went, oh, R.I.P. Steve. This movie makes me so sad. It does. This one puts me in the feels every
so
time.
tell the folks your thoughts on this film, and I will uh, join in with my thoughts after you're done with your
It's
moment.
it's the best one. I think it's the best one. Um, I don't know. It just has the right mix of suspense and sex and gore, and it's got compelling characters. It's neat, but I don't know. It just lays the foundation for a new era of films. You're following Halloween in '79. You've got Friday the 13th in '80, and then you get Nightmare on Elm Street following shortly after. And it kicks off the franchise wars for better or worse. But they've given us a few dozen movies and a lot of hours of entertainment and endless rewatchability. So I would yeah, I would say that I like the original the most, but I do really enjoy part three, which is when Jason gets his iconic mask. But overall, the arc, the one, two, three is definitely the strongest in the series. But there's some highlights. I mean, I like Jason Goes to Hell. I think that the Tommy Jarvis, timeline is pretty cool. The um, I really like. It's funny. It's not a great movie, but it's funny. I like Jason Takes Manhattan. It's a hilarious premise. Jason X is a classic, just absolutely out of left field. And you have a somewhat modern resurgence before New Line fell apart and the rights of the franchise fall into disrepair with Freddy versus Jason. But that's a pretty fun entry too. But yeah, I definitely think the first one is my favorite, followed by Chapter 3, and then Freddy versus Jason is probably my third. But I like the original arc. 1, 2, 3 is my favorite.
Yeah,
Tommy Jarvis is solid. That whole storyline. Jason Goes to Hell's neat. Jason
yeah.
Takes Manhattan's funny. Jason X is hilarious. But they definitely lose the tone that the first three set. But that's what happens when you make 90 films in a franchise without the same people behind the
See,
scenes.
I think part two is just as much as a good follow up.
Well, and they call it part 1 and 2, which is it is almost two halves of the same of a story, right? Because you have mom and then invoking the wrath of Jason is part 2, and then part 3 is the evolution of Jason
Yeah,
moving on. Yeah, you could almost say part 1 and part 2 should be like one movie, just back to back, just like the way it fits the two halves in.
yeah,
Because I would say part 1 is almost a prequel because it is mom, and the reason why Jason now kills is because mommy's dead.
yeah.
So I don't know, but I think the first one is probably the most rewatchable and my favorite.
Hmm.
It's just it doesn't have the nudity that you'll get later.
That's true.
It
That's very.
doesn't really have a huge cast,
Mm-mm.
but it's well paced, it's well cut, it's
Yeah,
not too long. The
it's
score is
probably
excellent. It's just a
it's
tight movie.
it's probably my top. Mm,
I think it's probably in
it's
the
in
top
my
10
top
of
five.
like yeah, it's
It's
like
in my
definitely
top
in my
five Friday movies. I honestly feel like my favorite one is part two because
part two is
it
good.
has a little bit more of that slasher
Hmm.
vibe. It's a little bit faster paced because to me, and I've watched this film dozens of times. This film to me it lags in so many spots. It's slow in a lot of parts to it. I
I'm
really
sorry
don't.
you can't feel.
I feel a lot, and I
I
feel
feel like
like
you don't
this
even care
movie
about Steve Christie,
is not
and it shows.
really. I mean, part two is probably my favorite one, but I like part two, part four. I like five, I like five and six. Obviously, I love part eight. Um, and of the New Line era films, I like Freddy vs. Jason the most. Then, but yeah, of the Paramount era, of the Frank Mancuso Jr. era, of the first four, I like probably it's probably gonna be part four. Is my favorite one of the first four, of the second four of the
You're a
Paramount
Tommy
era,
simp. That's what you are.
of my
You're
second.
simping.
No. Of the second four movies, six through eight, I think I like, or I'm sorry, five through eight. It's gonna be six, five, eight, seven.
Hmm. Well, I guess we're all entitled to our opinions,
Yeah, and that's fine.
but we all know mine are right. So
But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this Friday the 13th film commentary. We will be debuting other film commentaries on KOH, but if you want to get the exclusive insight on our commentaries, make sure you check out our Patreon. The link is in the description, and our commentaries always hit Patreon first. If you join Patreon, you get to vote on what our uh, film commentary will be for the upcoming month, and that will be released on Patreon the following month. So you get to control the landscape as far as what we watch, what we commentate on, and so much more.
But
So
you can't control how I feel.
consider subscribing to our Patreon if you are not already a subscriber. And yeah, so this is another Friday the 13th here on KOH. And come October of 2023 on KOH, we will be debuting our second Friday the 13th fan film marathon. So part two is coming. Another slate of Friday fan films for you to enjoy and for us to talk about and have fun celebrating this amazing day full of camp and slashing and Jason and
Camp
hockey
Camp
masks.
Counselor Zaddy Steve Christie. May he live
Yes.
in peace and power. Strength always, my homie.
Yes. Yes. So we'll catch you next time here on the Kings of Horror. And this is a special audio commentary presentation from Screamstream and SPF Entertainment.
All
Catch you
rights
next time.
reserved. Allegedly.